Welcome, night wanderers, wherever you're tuning in from under these quiet stars. If this is your first journey with us, take a slow, deep breath and only tap, like if you're truly ready to leave the day behind and drift into ancient hush. Before we step beneath these Abbey arches, tell me in the comments, what's the hour on your clock right now? Are you winding down after a long day? Or just starting your evening ritual? Now, make yourself comfortable. Perhaps wrap a blanket around your shoulders or hold a warm cup of tea. As you settle, picture the Abbey's moonlit courtyard before us, weathered stones glimmering with dew, torch sconces long since snuffed, and a single lantern still bobbing in a distant window. We're about to trace hidden alcoves and silent cloisters where whispers of centuries past lie waiting. But first, where are you watching from tonight, and what drew you here? Drop your answers below, and let's begin our midnight pilgrimage together. Make yourself comfortable. Let your breath slow and deepen. Imagine you stand before an ancient abbey perched on a remote hilltop. The sun has just slipped below the western ridge, leaving the sky a wash of dusky purples and indigos. A few last birds wheel homeward, their calls fading into the gathering hush. You push open the heavy oak gate and step into a wide cobblestone courtyard. Each footstep falls soft and deliberate. The air is cool and slightly damp, carrying the scent of moss-covered stone and the lingering smoke of extinguished hearth fires. A lone candle flickers in a narrow window high above, its glow a single golden eye in the darkening wall. The Abbey's soaring bell tower rises before you, its silhouette cut sharply against the first stars. Beneath it, arched cloisters wrap around a silent garden. The columns stand like sentinels, and vaults overhead cradle shadows that seem to breathe. You pause at the entrance to the cloister. The worn stone underfoot has carried countless monks in silent prayer. Somewhere within these walls, hidden passages and forgotten cells await your discovery. That a gentle breeze stirs the ivy that clings to the walls, setting a ripple of leaves dancing in the thin light. You draw your cloak tighter, feeling its woolen weight and the slow calm it brings. Each breath you take is longer, softer. In this empty courtyard, even your heartbeat seems to slow. The Abbey is no longer merely stone and wood. It feels alive, as though it has been waiting through centuries for someone to wander these paths once more. To your left, a broken fountain stands dried and emptied, its basin cracked but still elegant in silhouette. Moonlight spills over its edge, forming a pool of silver on the cobbles. You imagine the water once trickling over smooth stones, a lullaby for monks' evening prayers. Now it is silent, yet you perceive its echo in the hush around you. From down a shadowed corridor comes the faintest echo of a closing door, a sign that the final vespers have ended. Soon all candles will be extinguished, leaving only the stars and a handful of lanterns to guard the Abbey's secrets. You take a slow step forward, crossing the courtyard toward the long cloister walk. Each pillar you pass bears the scars of time. Chipped corners, mossy patches, and carved graffiti from centuries past. As you reach the entrance to the cloister arcade, you look up at the ribbed vaults overhead. Their lines converge in darkness, as if pointing to some hidden cruciform apex. You pause, head tilted back, and let your eyes follow those arches until they vanish in black. The hush here is profound. No wind stirs, no creatures scurry, only the gentle rhythm of your own breathing. Invited by an unseen hand, you step beneath the arches and into the cloister's embrace. The world outside falls away. In this moment, you are a solitary traveler slipping into another realm, where shadows hold counsel and silence speaks truths that only the heart can hear. Ahead lies the first threshold on your journey into the Abbey's forbidden lore. You take one more slow breath, savoring the cool, still air, and prepare to follow the hidden whispers of the night. You step from the courtyard into the long, vaulted cloister, where every stone arch whispers of centuries gone by. The moon, now high and full, pours through the perpendicular windows in silver shafts, pooling softly on the flagstones. Your footsteps fall lightly, each tap muffled by the worn stone, as though the very floor inhales and exhales in time with you. Above, the ribs of the vault converge in geometric patterns, dark lines traced against the pale sky. Ivy trails down the walls in delicate tendrils, its leaves glowing faintly where moonbeams touch. Here and there, A carved capital, perhaps a saint, perhaps a demon, leans forward in silent judgment, moss filling the hollows of its features. You pause beneath one such figure, reaching out to brush away a tuft of green, feeling the cold dampness of the stone beneath your fingers that a whisper of wind stirs through the open arcade, setting a few fallen petals drifting across your path. Their slow dance feels like a secret greeting, as if the Abbey itself acknowledges your presence. In this hush, even the distant toll of the great bell seems muted, its sound absorbed by the thickness of the walls. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the gentle hush settle over you, each breath growing longer, softer. As you continue, you notice a line of shallow niches inset into the wall, each once holding a small votive lamp. Now they stand empty, save for smudges of soot and the faint scent of old oil. In one niche, a single candle remnant lies, spent and blackened, an echo of someone's private prayer left behind in haste or reverence. You imagine the flicker of that lamp, a golden heartbeat against the dark, and feel a curious kinship with the unknown monk who placed it there. Halfway down the walkway, the cloister opens onto a secluded garden. Moonlight bathes a square of grass and a central stone fountain, long dry but still carved with graceful tracery. At its center, a lion's head spout gapes mute, as though offering its blessing in silence. You slip through the arched doorway and step onto the soft turf, each blade dewy and cool beneath your boots. The air here carries the scent of jasmine and night-blooming roses, their blossoms pale and ghostly under the lunar glow. You stand beside the fountain, tracing the patterns etched in its basin. Moss lines the carved grooves, soft as velvet. Leaning close, you catch the faintest echo, a dripping sound, though no water falls, just the memory of water's presence stored in the stones. You lean back and close your eyes, listening. The distant coo of an owl, the rustle of ivy leaves, the muted creak of a shutter closing. These are the night's prayers, offered for your ears alone. After a moment, you re-enter the cloister, moving toward the far end where the corridor narrows. Here, the columns stand closer, and the arches frame the dark silhouette of the bell tower beyond. Shadows pool deep between each pier, creating a delicate rhythm of light and dark that seems to guide your steps. Your lantern, or if you prefer, no lantern at all, casts a soft glow, just enough to keep you oriented without banishing the night's mystery. At last, you arrive before a set of massive oak doors carved with interlacing vines and thorn branches. Ornate iron hinges snake across the surface, and a ring-shaped handle hangs heavy and cold. You feel a quiet thrill, for you know that beyond these doors lies the heart of the Abbey's secrets, the ancient library, where forbidden knowledge slumbers under layers of dust and devotion. You pause, hand resting on the cool iron ring, listening to the faint echo of your pulse. The cloister behind you exhales one last gentle sigh as the wind drifts through the arches. Ahead, the library doors await, promising discoveries both sacred and arcane. With a steady breath, you lift the ring to your lips and prepare to enter the next chamber of the Abbey's hidden lore. With your hand resting on the cold iron knocker, you inhale a slow, steady breath. The oak doors before you are immense, each panel carved with twisting vines and heraldic shields that tell stories long forgotten. The metalwork is ornate, hinges coiled like living serpents, a ring-shaped knocker shaped into the snarling visage of a lion. Moonlight glints off the iron, and in its pale glow you can almost read the wear of countless hands that have come before you. You lift the knocker and let it fall with a soft thud. The sound reverberates through the stone walls, a low heartbeat in the stillness. Then, as if in response to your summons, the door creaks open inward on hidden pivots. A sliver of golden candlelight spills into the cloister, warm against the cool night air. The gap widens just enough for you to slip through. Inside, the library is vast and hushed. 2 rows of soaring bookshelves rise to meet ribbed vaults above, their timbers dark and polished by time. Endless volumes line each shelf, leather-bound tomes and vellum scrolls, their titles stamped in fading gold or scrawled in hushed Latin. The air smells of old paper, beeswax, and cedar, a comforting tapestry of memory and knowledge. You close the door gently behind you, letting the hush envelop you like a soft cloak. Your footsteps echo once on the polished flagstones before fading into silence. A row of wrought iron sconces holds slender candles whose flames dance in gentle breezes that seem to wander the aisles like silent monks. Their flicker casts long shadows between the shelves, forming dark alcoves where mysteries lie waiting. Drawn by a quiet pull, you approach a central lectern upon which rests a single, open manuscript. Its pages are yellowed and delicate, inscribed with neat black script and margins filled with marginalia, tiny sketches of mythical creatures and cryptic symbols. You feel the weight of centuries in every curve of the inked letters. Yet it is not this book that first claims your attention. Behind the lectern, high above, a second set of doors, smaller, iron-bound, stands slightly ajar. They bear no knocker, only a small brass plaque engraved with the words Scriptoria Sacra. You sense that beyond lies something even more hidden. The forbidden archive, where the most dangerous revelations sleep. Your fingers trace the spine of the open manuscript as you steel your courage. The hush of the library feels sacred, as though every book and scroll stands sentinel over truths too profound for daylight. You step away from the lectern and drift toward the iron doors, guided by the soft glow of candlelight and the echo of your own heartbeat. The forbidden archive awaits. Beyond these doors, the Abbey's deepest secrets lie in silent slumber, ready to reveal their low, eternal whisper to those brave enough to listen. You leave the great library behind and follow a narrow corridor lit by a single wavering torch. The stone walls close in, each step echoing like a muted drumbeat. Ahead, a stout door of oak reinforced with iron awaits, its surface scarred by centuries of rope and pulley abrasion. Above it, carved letters spell Campanile, the bell tower. A final exhale steadies your heart before you push it open. The stairwell within is a tight spiral of worn limestone, climbing skyward in dim half-light. The air grows cooler and musty, redolent of old metal and damp stone. You place a hand on the smooth balustrade, each fingerfall echoing a soft tap. At intervals, narrow lancet windows puncture the wall, framing slivers of moonlit sky and distant treetops. Through one such window, a single bat flits by, a silent guardian of the night. Ascending higher, you come to a series of landings. On each, an old rope mechanism lies coiled in shadow, remnants of the ancient bell rope that once commanded the hours. The rope fibers are frayed, blackened by age, yet still carry the weight of innumerable tolls. Vespers, matins, the midnight hour. You pause to inspect a fallen coil, running a finger along its twisted strands and imagining the strong, steady pull that set the great bell in motion. Finally, you emerge onto the tower's upper gallery. The space is cloaked in moonlight and deep shadow. Before you stands the massive bronze bell itself, its flared mouth frozen in time. Faded Latin inscriptions spiral around its crown, prayers for the living and the dead, pleas for mercy and thanks for deliverance. The bell's huge clapper hangs motionless, its surface pitted and worn by countless strikes. Behind the bell, through tall arched openings, the Abbey's nightly panorama spreads out. The cloisters, gardens, and rooftops lie silent under a dusting of pale moonbeams. A thin mist drifts in the valley beyond, wrapping the world in spectral stillness. You step closer to the bell, feeling its cold surface beneath your fingertips. In its silent presence, you sense the weight of all who have listened. Villagers, pilgrims, monks, drawn together by its solemn voice that a breeze stirs, sending the torch's flame flickering. Shadows dance across the walls in time with your heartbeat. You imagine drawing the rope, hefting the bell into motion. The metal would speak in a voice that could shake windows and stir souls. Yet tonight it remains at rest, its secrets intact. You leave the tower as you entered, with reverence and quiet awe. One last glance at the bell and the sleeping Abbey below, then you descend, the spiral staircase guiding you back into the heart of the night's mysteries. Beyond the Scriptoria's sacred doors lies a narrow vestibule, its ceiling low and lintel thick with soot. You step inside, the torch in your hand spilling a trembling pool of light across cold stone. Every echo seems magnified here, your own heartbeat, the faint drip of distant water. The air carries a weighty hush, as though the walls themselves guard a secret. Ahead, a second door waits, small, iron, bound, its surface etched with arcane symbols you cannot read. A heavy bolt secures it from within. You place your palm against the cool iron, feeling ridges of rust and the faint hum of long, sealed power. Reaching into your cloak, you draw the small brass key discovered in the librarian's quarters. Your fingers brush the fitting. With a single, careful turn, the bolt slides free. The door swings open on silent hinges, revealing a vaulted chamber lined with floor-to-ceiling shelves. Cobweb scroll cases and ebony chests rest under dust-laden shutters. The torchlight catches slivers of gilded lettering. Ars Nocturna, Codex Obscurus, Verba Muta. You inhale slowly, tasting the faint tang of aged vellum and waxy binding. This is the Abbey's heart of forbidden lore. You pass between the shelves, each step stirring motes of dust in the golden glare. A solitary lectern stands at the center. Upon it, bound in deep scarlet leather and marked with a silver cipher, lies the Codex Obscurus, the most feared of all volumes. Its lock is ornate, a tangle of loops and keyholes. You sense that those who penned its pages invoked more than prayer. With reverent care, you open the codex. The pages are inked in midnight blue, the script curling like living vines. Margin illustrations depict celestial alignments and strange sigils. As you read a single line, a whispered chill brushes your ear, a breath not your own. Yet when you look, the chamber remains empty. The codex's words gleam back at you in candlelight, carrying secrets meant only for the silent hours. You close the book and replace it on the lectern, heart still fluttering from its power. A subtle trembling runs through the shelves, as though the archive itself exhales. Carefully, you retrace your steps back to the door, mind humming with the codex's final injunction. In darkness, wisdom waits for the still and the faithful. You return to the lectern where the scarlet Codex Obscurus rests, its lock now unfastened by your quiet resolve. Gently you lift its vellum cover, breath held against the hush. The pages within reveal an unexpected secret, a folded folio bound into the spine, edged in silver filigree. You ease it free and unfold a slender parchment. The Ars Nocturna, its title glimmering like a distant star, by the torch's trembling glow. You read of midnight tinctures and hushed invocations, inked in an elegant hand. The primer speaks of listening stones that catch the echo of unseen voices, and of candles carved from graveyard wax, whose smoke carries whispered prayers to ancient guardians. You trace the looping script, feeling each letter pulse with concealed power. A whisper of air stirs the chamber, and the torch flickers, casting the folio's diagrams, celestial charts, and cryptic sigils into sharp relief against the walls. You pause over a drawing of a cloister vault, lines converging on a hidden alcove. Your heart stirs with wonder. The manuscript not only speaks of forbidden rites, but points the way to a sanctum even deeper in shadow. Carefully you refold the Ars Nocturna and place it within your cloak. The Abbey's silent corridors await your next step, guided now by this newly revealed map of whispered secrets. Guided by the Ars Nocturna's blueprint, you slip back into the moonlit cloister. Each archway and pillar is bathed in silver light, but now you see faint chalk marks, small crosses and arrows, etched into the stone, pointing toward a narrow alcove behind the eastern buttress. Your steps are scarcely audible on the cool flagstones. The night holds its breath as you pass. Reaching the alcove, you find a carving of an angel whose folded wings conceal a shallow niche. You kneel, torch in hand, and trace the join where the wing meets the wall. A gentle push, and the stone panel swings inward on hidden pivots. Inside lies a small iron casket, bound with copper filigree and sealed with wax bearing the Abbey's crest. Your pulse quickens as you lift the lid. From within, a flutter of parchment spills into your lap. Finger-thin pages inscribed with secret prayers and incantations in a script that seems to shimmer when you dare to read. As your fingers brush the open text, you hear it, a low susurrus rising from the casket itself, as if the prayers have found voice. The air fills with soft, breathy syllables, words unspoken yet understood, singing in an ancient tongue. You clutch the torch closer, watching black shadows twist along the walls in time with the murmured chant. Each whisper threads through you, weaving images of stained glass windows flickering, of hidden spirits pacing the cloister at vespers, of truths revealed only under the hush of stars. You feel both humbled and exhilarated. The Abbey itself seems to speak through these pages. When the final whisper falls silent, you tuck the slender folios into your cloak. The alcove door closes itself with a faint click, as though the Abbey wishes to guard its secrets once more. In the stillness, your heartbeat and breath are the only signs of life. Ahead lies the choir stalls, where stone angels will soon sing their own silent hymn. With careful steps, you leave the alcove behind, the midnight whispers echoing in your mind as you continue your journey toward the sacred choir. You leave the hidden alcove behind, cloaked in the stillness of midnight, and follow the torchlit corridor toward the heart of the Abbey's sanctuary. Each step is measured, soft against the worn flagstones. As you draw closer to the ancient choir stalls, rows of carved oak that have borne witness to centuries of silent devotion. The air here is cool and dry, redolent of polished wood and beeswax, with a faint undercurrent of incense lingering like a half-remembered prayer at the corridor's end. A low archway frames the sanctuary beyond. You pause just inside, allowing your eyes to adjust. Before you, the choir stalls stand in neat, shadowed rows on either side of a narrow central aisle. Their misericords, tiny wooden ledges beneath each seat, are carved with playful gargoyles and biblical scenes, secret carvings meant only for the closest observer. Candle sconces are bolted to the pillars, but tonight all remain dark, save for the single torch in your hand. You venture into the aisle, treading softly between the stalls. Overhead, the ribbed vaults rise in elegant curves, their stone ribs converging in a great keystone high above. Moonlight filters through the pointed arch of the stained glass window at the choir's eastern end, casting a muted patchwork of blues and purples on the floor. The luminous shards seem to hover in the air, momentarily suspended before drifting across the flagstones. As you approach the center of the choir, you catch the faintest echo of sound. Not a door closing, nor a footstep, but the distant murmur of harmonized voices. At first it seems like the wind stirring through the rafters, yet the tones are too deliberate, too warm for mere air. You stop and listen. The sound swells into a low, resonant chant. Kyrie eleison. Christ eleison. The words are ancient, woven into the fabric of every sacred hour, yet here they rise spontaneously, as though summoned by your presence. You stand still, feeling the chant's vibration in your chest. It is neither loud nor imposing, but tender and consoling, an invisible embrace of sound that fills every corner of the vast space. The melody weaves through the carvings on the choir stalls, around the pointed arches, and up to the vaulted ceiling, where it seems to linger like a shimmering veil. Each syllable is enunciated with crystalline clarity, then fades into the next, creating a seamless lullaby of devotion. Compelled by the music, you step deeper into the choir, passing under an arch carved with angels in mid-flight. Their faces, lit by moonlight, bear gentle smiles as though they too partake in the song. You come to a single empty stall on the south side, its hinged seat raised to reveal the misericord beneath. You sit, pressing your back against the cool oak, and close your eyes. The chant surrounds you completely, as if the very wood and stone have joined voices. In the hush between phrases, you hear the soft drip of water somewhere in the monastery's depths, and the rustle of a mouse in the wainscot. Yet these earthly sounds do not intrude. They blend into the tapestry of the chant, reminding you that this sacred music springs from both heaven and the heart of the Abbey itself. As the melody reaches its gentle climax, an exultant yet peaceful Gloria in excelsis Deo. You open your eyes to see the stained glass window now glowing with an inner light. The colored panes shimmer as though alive, and for a heartbeat you imagine seeing figures moving behind the glass. Robed monks, monkesses, angels, all gathered to raise this song of mercy to the darkened sky. Then the final note dissolves into silence. The silence that follows is not void but expansive, like a great breath held in suspension. You remain seated for several long moments, savoring the absence of sound, the echo of the invisible choir vibrating in your ears and bones. Your heart feels lighter, as though unburdened by unseen cares. Rising to your feet, you press a gentle hand to the carved armrest, feeling the craftsmanship of generations. You bow your head in quiet gratitude, acknowledging the gift you have received. The choir stalls stand empty now, but the memory of their song lingers like a soft halo around your thoughts. With a lingering glance at the vaulted ceiling, you turn and walk back down the aisle. Your steps are guided by the afterglow of the chant. Moonlight leads you once more into the cloister, each pillar seeming to bow in silent benediction. Ahead, the corridor opens onto the transept, where vestiges of frescoes flicker in the torchlight. As you depart, you understand that this chapter of your night's journey will forever echo within you. The sacred choir, a secret liturgy offered by shadows and stone, heard only by those who enter the Abbey's hush and dare to listen. You leave the hushed echo of the choir stalls behind and step into the nave's shadowed expanse. Each pew stands in silent rows, carved ends shaped like angels' wings that catch the pale moonlight filtering through the clear story. Your torchlight flickers against the cool stone floor, but beyond its glow you feel another presence, a subtle shift in the air, as if someone moves just beyond your sight. Pausing mid-aisle, you listen. The softest of sounds, a footfall on stone, lighter than any living step, echoes from the western transept. It is neither owl nor rat, but deliberate and measured. You lift your torch toward the dark, and there, just at the edge of the light, you glimpse a slender shape clad in simple brown robes, the faint silhouette of a monk, hood drawn low, drifting along the south wall. Your breath catches. The figure glides forward without haste, turning once to beckon you with a slight tilt of the head. Though the air holds no warmth, you feel a gentle invitation in that motion. Compelled, you follow, torch and cloak held close against the chill. Each step you take is answered by a corresponding footfall, soft and unhurried, yet purposefully guiding you down the side aisle. The phantom leads you past sculpted confessionals and kneeling benches worn smooth by prayer. Sconces remain unlit, so only the moonlight and your torch carve the way. The guide pauses at a narrow door beneath a stone arch carved with entwined vines, a door you had not noticed before. Without a word, the phantom reaches out. Its hand passes through the solid oak, and the latch lifts under unseen fingers. The door swings open silently. Inside, you find a low corridor lined with ancient frescoes depicting scenes of penance and mercy. Their pigments are faded, yet in the torch's glow you discern monks offering alms to the poor and laying hands on the sick. Here and there, a strand of cobweb glitters like fine lace. The phantom steps into the corridor and glances back, as if to say, "This way." You follow, heart steady, feeling oddly secure in this silent companionship. The passage slopes gently downward, and the air grows cooler still. Your torch smoke rises in thin spirals, needing the faint drafts that whisper in from hidden vents. Ahead, the corridor bends sharply to the left, and when you turn the corner, a narrow flight of stone steps descends into darkness. The phantom moves first, its form ebbing in and out of the torch's reach. You count each step, 1, 2, until your boots land on uneven paving stones slicked with faint moisture. At the foot of the stairs, the corridor opens into a small crypt. Here, the torch's light reveals a vaulted ceiling supported by stout pillars, each carved with a single letter spelling out a plea, PX, peace. The phantom glides to the center where a broken sarcophagus lies open, its lid displaced and leaning against the wall. A silver bowl rests on the stone floor inside, etched with the Abbey's crest and rimmed with old candle wax. Your phantom guide raises a hand, and though no candle is lit, the silver bowl begins to glow with a gentle phosphorescence. You step forward, and the bowl's light intensifies, revealing the object you have sought. Nestled within is an ivory-bound leaflet, Jacobus's final prayer, the key to understanding the Abbey's deepest mystery. The phantom's form shimmers softly as if nodding its silent benediction. Reverently, you lift the leaflet and unfold it. The script is small and flowing, each line a prayer for mercy and insight. As you read the first words, "Let the seeker find truth in the quiet of this vault," you feel warmth flood your chest, and the crypt's chill recedes. The phantom, its task complete, steps back into the shadows. You look up to thank it, but its shape dissolves into the darkness, leaving only the gentle glow of the silver bowl as farewell. Clutching the leaflet to your breast, you turn to retrace your path. The corridor's frescoes now seem to watch you with compassionate eyes, as if the very walls understand the weight of the knowledge you carry. With ember-bright purpose and the phantom's guiding touch fresh in your mind, you ascend the stairs, close the hidden door behind you, and return to the Abbey's moonlit aisles, forever changed by the silent guide's faithful escort. You step back into the cool moonlit aisle of the nave, torchlight dancing upon carved angels before you make your way to the southern transept. Here, tucked behind a thick curtain of velvet damask, worn threadbare by time, is a low wooden door bound in iron. Beneath your palm its surface pulses with a hushed expectancy, as though it knows you bear the leaflet's ancient prayer. You swing it open and descend once more into shadow. A flight of 6 wide, shallow steps leads down into the crypt of rest. Each tread is capped in dark flagstone warmed by the earth's heartbeat, and the walls curve inward in a low barrel vault carved from living rock. A single iron sconce holds a thick candle whose flame you reignite, and immediately the crypt awakens in muted gold light. The air here is stiller, dense with the scent of dust and myrrh. You find yourself in a chamber of perfect hush. Along both walls stand a row of low sarcophagi carved from pale marble. Each bears the name of an Abbey founder, Letherius, Melisande, Ethelwulf, etched in elegant Romanesque script. The lids are simple slabs, but each is crowned with a small medallion of Christ or a saint, rendered in faint, chipped enamel. At their feet lie garlands of dried laurel, carefully laid by generations of monks. In the center of the crypt, beneath the vaulted ceiling's single keystone, stands a shallow stone font. Its basin is inscribed with a circlet of words, Pax Aeterna Custodiet Vos, may eternal peace guard you. The leaflet in your hand seems to pulse against your chest, and you feel compelled to place it upon the rim. As you do, the candle's flame flutters and steadies, casting dancing glyphs of light upon the walls. You kneel before the font and open the leaflet, reading the prayer aloud in a soft, reverent whisper. In your silent rest, O faithful ones, may voices rise in mercy. May your watchful hearts guide the living. In the stillness, may your wisdom bloom like flowers of dawn. The words echo faintly in the vaulted chamber, and for a moment, you sense a subtle tremor beneath your knees, the crypt itself acknowledging the invocation. The medallions on the sarcophagi glimmer, as if touched by an unseen hand, and a breeze stirs, though no door or window is open. Rising to your feet, you move along the line of tombs. At each name, Melisande, who laid the Abbey's first stones, Ethelwulf, defender of the poor, Letherius, scribe of sacred lore, you pause to bow your head in respect, whispering the prayer softly once more. Each echo carries a sense of connection across the ages, as though these guardians of rest now share their peace with you. At the far end of the crypt, you discover a narrow niche carved behind an altar. Inside rests a simple wooden chest, its surface worn smooth. You place the leaflet and the Ars Nocturna beside it. The chest's lock creaks open at your touch, revealing 2 objects laid in velvet: a brass lamp engraved with the Abbey's emblem, and a small silver chalice inscribed Semper Vigilans, always watches. You lift the lamp and warm the chalice between your hands, feeling their comforting weight. They are gifts from the silent guardians, tokens of their eternal vigil. With these in your possession, you sense that your night's journey is drawing to its sacred close. The crypt is no longer a place of mere rest, but of communion, past and present intertwined in solemn harmony. Carrying the chalice and lamp, you step back up the stairs. Behind you, the font's rim seems to glow faintly, as though thanking you for your prayers. You close the curtain over the crypt's door, sealing its hush once more, and ascend into the Abbey's heart, mind and spirit enriched by the rest and wisdom of those who watch in silence. You ascend from the crypt's hush back into the Abbey's cool midnight heart, guided only by the brass lamp you carry. Its golden glow pools at your feet, chasing away the lingering damp of the underground. At the top of the steps, a narrow door swings shut behind you with a soft click, sealing the sleep of the silent guardians once more. Before you stretches the eastern corridor, a vaulted passage opened to the night sky above by a row of lofty arches. Here, the cloister gives way to a starlit walkway, where each arch frames a portion of the heavens, and the constellations themselves seem to watch over your journey. The moon hangs low, a pale sentinel, its light filtering through the tracery of stone to mingle with the lamp's warm flicker. Your footsteps are muffled on the flagstones, polished by centuries of sandals and boots. With each measured stride, your breath lengthens, matching the corridor's serene rhythm. You pass a series of sculpted reliefs, scenes of pilgrims at prayer, angels leading souls upward, the chestnut-robed fathers laying foundation stones. Moonlight dances on the raised carvings, bringing hidden details to life. A feather drifting from an angel's wing, a pilgrim's staff broken in two, only to be mended by unseen hands. The air here is cool and scented faintly of night-blooming jasmine trained along the outer walls. Their petals, pale as candle wax, open only after dusk. Occasionally, a soft breeze stirs the vines, and the petals release a whisper of floral sweetness. You pause to inhale, letting the scent fill your lungs, and a delicate shiver of contentment runs down your spine. Ahead, the corridor widens into a small gallery overlooking the Abbey gardens. Beneath the arches, you find a simple stone bench carved into the wall. You set the lamp beside you and sit, gazing out at the silvered world below. The garden's hedges are trimmed in cubic precision, but in the moonlight their geometric shapes soften into shadowy forms. A single fountain at its center, dry now, catches starlight in its basin, reflecting the night sky like a black mirror. From this vantage, you hear the gentle rustle of olive trees beyond the garden wall. Their narrow leaves shimmer, creating a soft susurrus like whispered prayers. You lean forward, tracing constellations above, Orion's belt, the Pleiades cluster, Cassiopeia's curved throne. In the stillness, it feels as though the stars themselves speak to you, urging you to remember the leaflet's final words. May the silent guardians ever watch. Rising, you reclaim the lamp and continue along the starlit corridor. Each arch you pass frames a different celestial tableau. A lone shooting star streaks across one span, then vanishes. A planet glows steady in another. Distant galaxies glimmer like sprinkled dust. Your eyes follow these lights in wonder, and for a moment time seems suspended between earth and sky. You come upon an alcove where a simple lectern holds a slate tablet inscribed Pax Sint Omnes, let all be at peace. Beneath the inscription, someone centuries ago placed a single white rose carved in marble. Though dusty, its petals remain perfect, a testament to enduring serenity. You dip a fingertip into the rose's carved crease, feeling the cool stone and the beauty chiseled in stillness. Beyond the alcove, the corridor narrows again, leading you toward the western gatehouse. A final arch frames a distant view of the Abbey's front gate, now silhouetted against a sky that has begun to lighten with the first threads of dawn. Far below, lanterns glow dimly as watchers stir in their cells, preparing for matins. You realize the night's vigil is nearly done. Your steps slow as you approach a low bench carved into the final pillar. Here you pause, resting both your body and your thoughts. The lamp's flame is now small, flickering in welcome of morning's approach. You set it gently on the bench, sit, and close your eyes, letting the combined hush of starlight, breeze, and memory settle within you to in this still moment. You feel the weight of the Abbey's secrets, hidden manuscripts, spectral guides, ancient prayers, merge with the vast canopy of night above. You are at once part of this sacred place and its lone pilgrim, entrusted with both knowledge and peace. The starlit corridors have borne you across centuries of silence, and now they offer you their final benediction. When you stand again, the sky is paling at the horizon. You lift the lamp and retrace your steps back through the arches, each one bidding farewell with a glimmer of moonlight. Beyond the gateway, the world awaits, the next chapter of dawn. But for now, you are cradled in the Abbey's gentle arms, ready to carry its quiet watch into the new day. Beyond the starlit corridor, a final archway leads you into the Abbey's inner sanctum, the sanctuary chamber. Here the air is thick with reverent hush. The torch in your hand emits a gentle glow that dances across the carved choir screen as you step forward, revealing the high altar bathed in pale moonlight streaming through the rose window above. The altar itself is a masterpiece of stone and gold leaf, slender columns of marble support, and intricately carved reredos depicting the life of the Christ child. Tiny figures, angels, shepherds, wise men, are arrayed in delicate relief, their expressions captured in eternal worship. In the center, a hollowed niche cradles a silver reliquary, its facets glinting like captured stars. You approach with measured steps, each footfall muted by a worn runner that once led processions of incense and chant. At the foot of the altar rests the brass lamp and silver chalice you recovered in the crypt. You place them gently upon a low stone shelf, a quiet offering to the sanctuary's sacred heart. Kneeling on the cold marble floor, you raise your eyes to the rose window's tracery. The stained glass panels, ruby reds, sapphire blues, and emerald greens, glow in moonlight, casting a kaleidoscope of color across the vaulted ceiling. You sense the echo of ancient hymns in the silence, as though the spirits of every monk who ever sang here remain present in spirit. Drawing the leaflet from your cloak, you unfold Jacobus's final prayer one last time. Your voice is a hushed invocation as you recite, "In this holy place, may peace descend like dew upon your stones. May every heart find solace in the stillness, and every soul awaken to love's gentle flame." As the words fall away, a single motet of nightingales drifts in from the cloister garden, a natural benediction. The reliquary's silver facets tremble in response, and for a heartbeat you feel the chamber breathe along with you. Rising, you press your hand to the cool marble, leaving behind a warmth that lingers in the stone. The lamp's glow has deepened, as if the sanctuary itself has accepted your offering, and its ancient guardians now stand at peace. Turning slowly, you cast one last glance at the high altar, a tableau of shimmering glass, carved saints, and whispered prayers. No further secrets remain to uncover. The Abbey's hidden lore has been laid bare and honored. With the brass lamp and silver chalice safely stowed once more in your cloak, you walk back through the choir stalls, the rose window's colors fading gently behind you. The sanctuary's hush accompanies your steps, an eternal murmur of blessing. Ahead lies the final threshold into dawn's embrace. But for this moment, you carry the sanctuary's peace within your heart. Back in your simple chamber, the brass lamp now rests on the bedside table, its glow a gentle ember against the approaching gray of dawn. You settle beneath the woolen blankets, heart still aglow from the sanctuary's hush. Your eyes close, and the night's final prayers drift into your mind like silent incense. First, you dream of the Abbey's moonlit cloister, the long arches arching into infinity, each column's carved capital alive with dancing shadows. You drift down the center aisle, torch in hand, yet the flame never wavers nor consumes you. Instead, it pulses with a soft heartbeat that matches your own. The dream shifts. You stand before the rose window, now aflame with impossible hues, ruby, sapphire, emerald, spilling rainbows across vaulted ceilings. From the stained glass emerges a choir of spectral monks, their forms woven from colored light. They begin to chant, not in Latin, but in a language you feel rather than hear, a gentle susurrus that brushes against your soul like wings. Suddenly, you glide through the air, soaring above the Abbey's rooftops. The cloister garden spreads below like a tapestry of shadowed hedges and silvered fountains. The bell tower becomes a living sentinel, its great bell swinging slowly as if welcoming the dawn. You float past the library's blank windows, each pane reflecting book spines that ripple like water. You descend then, landing in the crypt of rest. There, the marble sarcophagi hum with a soft glow. The silver chalice in your dream hand fills with starlight, and when you sip, you taste both the memory of midnight prayers and the promise of new beginnings. A hush of marble wings, angelic carvings, leans close as if to murmur, "Peace be yours." The scene dissolves once more into 1,000 motes of light that drift upward into the abyss. You feel weightless, as if all your cares have been offered to the Abbey's silent guardians. A final image remains, the hidden alcove's iron casket opening to reveal the fluttering leaflet of Jacobus's prayer, its words inscribed in golden fire. "May your heart ever keep watch in love's quiet vigil." Then the colors fade. You awaken to the gray light of early morning brushing your eyelids. The lamp's flame has died, and the brass chalice and ivory leaflet lie safe upon your bedside. In the hush before the day begins, you carry the dream's stillness within you. A gift from Abbey spirits and silent stones, as you rise. The Abbey bell tolls matins in the distance. Its clear, gentle voice bridges night's sacred mysteries and the promise of dawn's embrace, guiding you from dreamscape into waking grace. The first blush of dawn steals through your chamber window, gilding the rough stone walls in soft rose and gold. You awake with the memory of ancient chants and midnight whispers still woven into your limbs. Rising from the bed, you wrap your cloak about your shoulders and step outside into the hush of early morning. The Abbey courtyard lies bathed in dew-bright light. Cobblestones sparkle like scattered gems as torches and candles, long since extinguished, leave only cool radiance behind. A solitary dove coos atop the fountain where moonlight once pooled. Now its calling greets the day. You draw a slow breath of crisp air scented with lavender from the walled garden, each inhalation filling you with serene contentment. Walking beneath the cloister arches, you watch shadows retreat before the sun's gentle advance. Ivy-clad columns glow warmly, and the pitcher vines open their bright blossoms to the light. Softly, the bell tower tolls matins, clear, resonant, a bridge from night's secrets into morning's grace. Each knell rings like a benediction, carrying your night's discoveries into waking hours. Passing the library doors, you recall the hush behind them, pages of forbidden lore and spectral guides. Now sunlight filters through the stained glass windows, painting the corridor in jewel-toned motes. You pause to lay the silver chalice upon a window ledge, where its metal catches the new light and refracts rainbows across the flagstones. Ahead, the high altar stands primed for the day's first service. Golden rays illuminate the carved reredos and reliquary, which seemed so distant under moonlight. You approach and bow, offering a final silent prayer of gratitude for Jacobus's hidden wisdom, the phantom's guiding hand, and the Abbey's eternal vigil. Leaving the sanctuary, you cross the garden one last time. A gentle breeze stirs the lavender and jasmine. Bees hum sleepily around rose-pink blooms. You gather a single sprig of each, tucking them into your cloak, a fragrant reminder of a night steeped in mystery and peace. As you step through the Abbey gates into the waking world, your heart feels buoyant with quiet joy. The dawn's embrace has cradled you, blending shadow and light into a tapestry of calm. Though your journey through midnight's secrets has ended, its benediction endures, a stillness carried within, guiding you through every coming day. Dawn's first light creeps through the gatehouse arch and finds you lingering in the Abbey's courtyard once more. The air is cool, scented faintly with rosemary from the garden border and the sweet warmth of honeyed bread baking in distant kitchens. Torches have guttered out, and only the pale wash of sky and the low toll of the matin's bell welcome you back to the world of waking. You pause at the ancient stone fountain, the same lion-mouthed spout frozen in stony repose under moonlight. Now, in morning, its bowl holds a perfect mirror of sky and spire. Kneeling, you cup the water in your hands and lift it to your brow, blessing yourself with the Abbey's spirit of peace. The droplets cool your skin, a benediction from the silent stones that watched over Jacobus's secrets and your own pilgrimage through shadow as you stand. The Abbey walls glow a soft honey brown in the sun's early rays. Ivy leaves sparkle with dew, each drop refracting a pinprick of light. You walk the length of the cloister that once guided your steps by torch and moonbeam. Now the arches frame a living tapestry of rose bushes in bloom, their petals trembling in a gentle breeze, and the choir stalls gleam with polished oak warmed by the sun. Where shadows once yawned, you now see the grain of the stone, every pitted surface a testament to centuries of prayer. Crossing to the library door, you recall the hush of hidden archives and the thrill of uncorking the Codex Obscurus. You pause before the bronze knocker, now cold and still, and place a hand upon its smooth face in gratitude. Inside, the rows of tomes lie silent in golden morning glow, no longer forbidding, but awaiting the faithful reader who respects their wisdom and heeds their caution. Venturing back into the nave, you find the high altar alive with color. When you first came, it had seemed carved from night's shadow. Now it stands revealed in every gilded leaf and painted panel. Sunlight streams through the rose window, scattering shards of red and blue across the flagstones. You bow before the reliquary that once held only darkness, now radiant in belief renewed. The silver chalice you placed there last night rests again in your satchel, a reminder that true devotion bridges earth and sky. Outside, the bell tower's silhouette points to heaven. You climb its steps one final time, sandals slipping softly on the worn stone. At the top, the great bronze bell is silent, but you sense its latent music in every breeze that stirs the pulleys. Below, the Abbey and its gardens lie spread like a map of devotion. The Cloisters' green sanctuary, the fountain's quiet heart, the crypt's restful hush, all woven together in a single tapestry of stone and spirit. You pause at the parapet and breathe deeply. The horizon glows with coral and gold. The day's first larks trill their ascending song. In this moment, you realize that the Abbey's true gift is not merely its hidden lore, but the invitation to dwell in stillness. Whether in the hush of midnight archives or the bright peace of dawn's first light, that quiet center remains. Descending to the courtyard, you greet the first stirrings of the brothers. A novice carries fresh linens along the cloister walk. A gardener trims hedges with muted snips. A priest pauses to offer a whispered blessing at the tomb of an abbey founder. Each acts in reverent calm, the rhythm of their labors in harmony with the abbey's unbroken vigil. Stepping through the arched gate into the world beyond, you carry the echoes of that night with you. In every quiet moment, before the bustle of market carts, in the hush of a midday rest, at the close of day when lamps are lit, you will recall the sacred hush of the Abbey's midnight, the guiding phantom, and the crypt's whispered prayers. May Jacobus's silent vigil live on in your heart. In the soft breath of night, when shadows lengthen and stars emerge, remember that truth speaks in silence. Let your own footsteps be gentle, your hearing keen, and your spirit open to the low, eternal song that flows between earth and sky. As you walk your road home, the Abbey's spire grows small behind you, yet its watch remains. Peace be with you now and always, a precious lamp against the dark, a chalice of quiet wonder in every coming day.